stamps, thank you for joining me today for another demonstration. We are going to continue with using our Yupo card and then using our Multifarious card. We're going to be taking a print off the Yupo. I'm going to start with the background mushroom, so I'm going to pop a little of that down, adding some blending solution, and I just want to create a background first. Okay, so now taking the mushroom again, I'm going to now just dot I'm just stopping those spreading any further now. And then what colour shall we use? Let's try the meadow. And again, I'm just going to stop that spread. And let's try some denim. Put a little bit more down there. Okay. Okay, so using my blending tool now, I'm going to put a little bit of the blending solution, just dotting a little, and then I'm going to go over the top just to break up some of that colour in the middle. And again, I'm just going to dab that with the tissue to stop that spreading any further. Because if it's wet underneath, it will just keep on spreading and keep on spreading. So that's the only reason why I use the tissue. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there and I'm going to take a print. Let's see what we get. So I've got my Multifarious to the side, I've got my alcohol lift ink, and I'm going to just pop a line of that along the top. It's quite thick, so it's quite easy to just pop a line across the top, and then we're going to go down the page and then taking the card, pop that on top and give that a good smooth over. Let's see what we've got. Wow. So two really lovely backgrounds from that print. Something that I'm more than happy to work with. So we'll pop those to the side and we'll stamp those when they're dry. Okay, so I've just trimmed that down now and that's dry and ready to stamp onto. So we're going to be making this quite a sort of fairy tale card, I think. I'm just going to press that down. I'm inking up in Twilight. Okay, so just place that down, give that a good press. And there we go. That detail, it's all come out. It looks fabulous. And that's thanks to our manufacturer, who always works so hard with us to get the detail. Okay, so I'm going to use our lovely Foliage stamp now. I'm going to pop that down at the top there. And this time, what colour shall we use? Let's go with Warm Breeze to start with. I'm going to ink up. And I'm going to stamp off first and just bring these lower down. Okay. And then another colour. What should we go with? Let's just have a look, see what the medieval blue is like. Might be a little bit dark. Oh no, that's okay. And the second impression. I think what I'll do is just lightly take off. That's nice. Okay, and lastly, I'm going to go back to the Twilight. I want the darker colour, so we've got depth at the top here. That's great. Okay. So now I'm going to go around the edge with our smoothie. Colour wise, I might start with the Monarch and then move on to the Twilight. So just gently working our way around the edge, and then moving on to the Twilight. I'm going to pick the newer one. This is quite an old Twilight. I do keep hold of that because that's great for a stencil brush, but I've got my newer Twilight here, which is obviously very wet, so I have to be careful not to put too much on. I'm actually never that keen on a brand new ink pad. I much prefer one that has been used several times. I think you kind of get to know your ink pads, don't you? You know, and at what stage they are and how much colour you put on. Okay, so I'm just bringing in quite a lot of depth now in the top. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that now. Okay, so I'm going to grab a paintbrush now and using the brushos, got a nice, this is the violet, I think. I don't want it to be too strong. It's always worth going in with a slightly lighter colour and then building up. Okay, right, we're nearly there. Just need to grab myself a white pen. This is the white Sakura Jelly Roll pen, and I'm just going to highlight some of these areas now. The stepping stones. And this kind of 3D's your image. Okay, and then I'm just going to go around the edge of the door. And a few of the vines wrapping themselves around the tree. And it just pulls that little bit of detail out, that's all. Okay, so going back to the paintbrush now, again I'm going to water that right down, and I'm going to bring in a little bit of depth under the vine and at the top of the vine, and that will make that stand out so much more again. So just create that shadow on the edge. And it just brings it to life. So I'm going to put a little bit on the doorway as well, on the inside. Okay, I think we're good to go with that now. Using the Yupo, we took a print of it and then stamped onto the Multifarious card. So we're left with this now, and we can use this to create a background, so don't throw it away. So I've got a stencil here, I'm going to pop that over the top, and I've got a couple of colours. We're using the archival ink, the cornflower blue and the leaf green. So I'm just going to use my stencil brush and keep a hold of the Yupo and the stencil, keep a firm grip. And I'm just going to take this over the top. I'm not going over the whole thing because the background in itself is nice enough, so I don't want to lose that. Okay, so now I'm changing onto the cornflower blue. just bring in another little bit of a colour. Let's have a little peek. Yes, there we go. I'm going to trim that down. And that's such a pretty background. So all I've done is use the Yupo paper that we used before and then put a stencil over the top using the archival ink, and that just gives us a really nice background for us to maybe put a card over the top, or you know, it's nice enough by itself. I'm going to stamp a few words down the side. And I think I'm going to try the cornflower blue. I'm going to ink up that. Not sure whether it's going to be dark enough or not, but we'll give it a go. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Just wanted something very subtle. And that's all we need to do to that background. And I think that's nice enough by itself. Thanks guys.